I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it Grizzly.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Gervonta Davis and Rolly Romero fight is now in question based on allegations, sexual harassment, sexual assault, and even more being alleged against Rolly Romero. G, fill us in.
All right. So I'm going to read two articles. The first one is from Boxing Scene. So let me just pull it up real quick. All right. So can y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this was published actually yesterday. So Las Vegas, I hope I'm saying it right. Rolando Romero will not get the potentially career-changing opportunity he had scheduled for December 5th at Staples Center in Los Angeles. BoxingScene.com has learned that Romero all but certainly will be removed from his pay-per-view showdown with rival Gervonta Davis due to a sexual assault allegation made by a woman with whom the lightweight contender was acquainted in their hometown of North Las Vegas, Nevada. Isabel Zambraro, 24, has described in detail through her Twitter account since late Thursday night an alleged sexual assault that occurred in Romero's apartment. And then so now I'm going to share another one, and this is from Bad Level, and this was actually on the 29th. So this was probably 2 days ago. And so I'm just going to read this one paragraph. It says, in total, it now appears that at least 8 different women have acknowledged what seems to be eerily similar stories regarding their experiences with Las Vegas fighter. It should, however, be noted that at this time of this posting, Romero has not been formally charged with any crimes, but at least one of the alleged victims claims that she will be giving a statement to local police, and that was the Isabella lady. Because further on in the Boxing Scene article, she actually talks about how they reported to the police, and the police have acknowledged that she did file a statement. So, yeah, so pretty much this fight is now in question. One state, Boxing Scene saying the fight is not going to happen. So yeah,
so we'll turn it over to Trill Dollar Bill. What is your reaction to the fight?
Not even there.
Yeah, he's there. Between Tank and Rolly being in question based on sexual assault allegations by multiple women.
I know that this is a YouTube channel, and we gotta do things for sharp value and all that other stuff, and I don't know, but I don't ever trade my morals in for no views and no likes and nothing like that. So I'm not gonna rush to judgment, right? And I believe that all men are innocent until proven guilty. It sucks that if this fight is going to be postponed, because people was looking forward to this fight, and I look at it like this, right? If he's guilty and he really has done these crimes, to hell with him. You're sick. I have daughters. I don't get down like that. But if you're innocent, then I think all these media outlets and everybody that's going out their way to discredit him and call him all these names, I think that y'all should be held accountable. Even if these accusations are proven to be false, I think that the people that said these accusations should be held accountable. These are serious charges and these are serious allegations. So hopefully this will get figured out, and justice will prevail.
All right, Conspiracy G.
Um, I see what you're saying, but I kind of look at it from a different point of view, right? I do agree you are innocent until proven guilty. But if I was PBC or Showtime, I would also cancel the fight. And the reason why is because, the Me Too movement and cancel culture and everything is huge right now, right? And you can't be a corporation that's supporting a guy that's essentially a sexual predator, right? So, um, you know, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like you just can't take that risk right now in this era. So whether he's innocent or not, I can understand why they had to just say, hey, you know what? We need to find Tank a replacement for this December 5th fight because Rolly, you're not a good look right now, marketing wise, especially for a sport like boxing, because essentially, it's a gentleman's sport, but it is a violent sport, and so, you can't have men who make a living off of punching each other in the face also, sexually assaulting women. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what's his name? Kovalev, you know what I mean? Like abusing his wife and everything. It's like that's not a good look for the sport, And the fact that if it was one woman, I'm gonna be honest, I would probably be like, if I was Al, I'd be like, no, we're gonna still have this fight. But because there's now 8 women, it's like, yo, nah, bro, you're not having this fight, bro. We're sorry, It just is what it is. And then for a lot of like gentlemen who think like, oh, she's a gold digger. These women are just after his money. To me, I'm like, it would make more sense if you waited till after this pay-per-view. Because right now he doesn't have money, right? So that's what makes me believe that something did happen to these young women. Because if they were really gold diggers, like people are saying on Twitter, they would have waited till after that pay-per-view paycheck. And then they would at least got something. They could have been like, hey, yo, Al Heyman, yo, give me X amount of dollars and I'll make this disappear if they were really gold diggers. To me, the fact that it's saying the sexual assault happened this week and then she immediately went to the police and filed a report like the next day. It's like, I don't know. And then other women coming out. To me, I'm kind of like, bro, even if you're innocent, man, we just can't have you on this card. We just can't. It doesn't make sense financially. It's too much of a risk, especially how, like, come on, man. It's just, we're moving in a different, more progressive direction when it comes to television, when it comes to even cable television, and so I don't think any corporation will want to be associated with a sexual predator right now. So it just sucks for Rolly if he's innocent. If he's innocent. Now, my conspiracy G answer is this. I think he's guilty, personally. He's a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? So I know the views and opinions of
The
G.
views and opinions of G do not reflect the Boxing Bros as a whole and all the other faces you see on this screen.
I appreciate y'all for that. Now, I just think the dude's a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, come on, man. Like, he's just a funny type of dude. And then I remember she said something along the lines of, after he, like, did whatever he did and Shorty was mad, he goes, yo, are you going to get your people to shoot up my apartment? I'm like, come on, fam. That seems like a Rolly thing to say, So I'm just like, fam, I don't know, man. Like, it's just he's just too weird to me. Like, he's too weird, And so I could believe that he's socially awkward around women because he's socially awkward around the media. You know what I mean? So I'm just being real. The dude's different. He's different, and it's no disrespect to him, but it's just like I could see it. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily know if he did it or not, but what I'm saying is I could see him being a weirdo and being a creep when it comes to the ladies. Hopefully I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. And obviously everything that I'm saying, alleged, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he did anything, but if he did, yo, Al, man, I understand why you had to let him go. You know what I mean? And if I don't know what Floyd's thinking right now, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is, yo. Find a replacement. Rolly, you know what I mean? If you're innocent, I'm pretty sure your promotional team, Mayweather Promotions, all of them, they're gonna find a way to get you a pay-per-view in the near future. But as of right now, you just gotta fall back and wait till the air clears.
All right, Ned the TVE.
Yeah, this is all news. Like it broke the other day. It broke like probably I think Friday or Saturday morning. And Rolly, this is like circumstances you don't want to ever put yourself in. You have to learn how to conduct yourself in and outside of the bedroom. And for this to be this sexual misconduct,
You're right.
sexual misconduct, so you can't just think I don't know, yeah, I don't know, you're on a high horse or something, but you gotta understand you're a human being. And if these allegations are true, I hope justice is served. But at the end of the day, let the case play out. Let's see what happens. Let's see let's wait for the verdict. Let's wait for judgment. Let's see how it all plays out. And that's all I gotta say for Bear.
Yo, can I ask you a legal question to Kaden? Um, like when the athletes, like NBA players and stuff, had them girls sign like the what's that? I forgot what it's
NDA?
called. Yeah, like if he has, I don't know, can that protect him? From
You mean after the allegations?
like if he had like let's say he has these ladies come over to his apartment and he has them sign these documents saying like, yo, you're fully consenting to sexual whatever with me. You know what I'm saying? Could he use that as protection from these type of charges?
You're talking about like a lot, because depending on what state you're in, you can't like,
So
like
them sheets of paper.
sex work is illegal, right?
Oh, no, I'm not talking about sex, but I'm saying like, yo, like let's say you meet a woman at the club.
Well, here's what I'm getting at to you. Like, consensual sex is consensual sex, right? However, let's say you consent to sex, right? But it goes further than she wanted it to. It could still be rape, right? Or it could still be sexual assault. Like, I agreed to this, I didn't agree to that. Or I agreed, but then I said stop.
Then I said no.
So then at what point, like, you can't contract like that. Like, for example, for starters, right? Like, that's like saying I'm about to buy an ounce off somebody and we make a contract. You can't make a contract for that, right? So what
I don't make my money back from this.
Yeah. If my fees go like this, then you automatically give me the next one free. And then you don't give me the next one free, and I'm taking you to court like, Yana, we have a contract that says, nah, honestly, it's impossible to make a contract like that. Mainly because, like, what are you consenting to? There can be, it can start off as consensual, or even if you make a contract, what's in the contract, what goes beyond the scope. Like, it's virtually impossible, bro, to like, I mean, you can prove that it started off as being consensual, which people tend to do. But the question becomes like, did you go too far? Did she say stop? Or he, for that matter, right? It shouldn't just be, because believe it or not, men can get raped too. So for me, it's more about, because even if you make a contract, what happens if she says stop? Does the contract have a stipulation that says, even if she says stop, I am allowed to keep going, right? Like, it's just not, you really can't just do that, right? The difference between an NDA though would be, let's say hypothetically, this young lady went to Mayweather Promotions first and said, Rolly did this to me. And they're like, yo, we're offering you $1 million right now to not go to the police, to not report this, to not mention this to any media outlets. And she agrees to take that money. And then they make an NDA saying that she agrees not to speak about it or whatever. And it's conditioned. The money she gets is conditioned upon her not filing a police report, not speaking. Then if she violates those terms, she would have to give the money back. You see? So that's the difference. So NDA stuff, yeah, like and yeah, athletes can make, you can make someone sign a non-disclosure agreement that they won't talk about what you did that night. Like, so if you're a woman hanging out with an athlete and he was out drinking and doing drugs or whatever, you can't disclose that because you signed an NDA. But it wouldn't be like you can't talk about sexual, or maybe they could say like you can't talk about us having sex or whatever. But it can't be like you can't accuse me of rape. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah. So yeah. Moving on to this though. You know, it's a really tough question because in the United States of America, there's due process, right? You have the right to a fair trial, and you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And what you see often, and what's happening a lot now, is before someone is to reach the pinnacle of their career. For example, I can't remember why is his name just killing me. Kavanaugh, Supreme Justice Kavanaugh was about to be sworn in, and then someone comes out and they say, "Well, he sexually assaulted me." And now the question becomes, is he not fit to become a Supreme Court judge because he's being accused of something that happened when he was in college in a sexual assault? And so you start to get into these scenarios where some people say, well, I don't think that's fair. Some people saying, well, he's not fit to do this. And for me, I think in Rolly's situation, it's a promotional company. So the promotional company has the right to say that given the nature of these charges, we do not want this fighter associated with our company because of the bad press that's going to come along with it. Mayweather Promotions and PBC, they would be in their right to do that. And if they did that, I would understand. But I would also understand if they said, this is America, everyone's innocent until proven guilty, and we take these allegations seriously. We understand the charges that are being levied against Rolly, but just like the accusers, Rolly is a human being with rights. And before these allegations, he signed a contract to fight. He has a right to earn a living, and we're going to follow through with this with the fight because Rolly has rights and he has a right to due process. And if he is found guilty or if he pleads guilty, we will no longer do business with Rolly, right? But again, it's about the company's bottom line. And G's right. I think they want no parts of the Me Too movement, particularly because of Floyd's history when it comes to women and abuse and things of that nature. So the last thing they want is that coming back in. So if they want to gather good fortune, goodwill, whatever, it's like, yo, we just got to pull Tank out of this fight with Rolly. Not to mention Tank's history of snatching up some woman in a basketball game and dragging her from. So they don't want this. They don't want this. So the best thing they can do is just drop the ball on Rolly and say, yo, dude, you too hot to touch right now. You too hot to touch right now. You got Deshaun Watson, the quarterback for the Houston Texans, going through that right now. This dude is one of the elite young quarterbacks in the game. Got sexual allegations against him, and so teams won't touch him. Teams won't trade for him because they don't know what's going to happen with him. So I understand the perspective that we're innocent until proven guilty. When I say we, I mean everyone, not like in particular, like any human being is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. However, if you work for a corporation, if you work for a company and your actions don't represent that company in a favorable light, they have the option to move forward however they so choose, which is typically in a contract when you're employed or by your employer. So with that being said, it doesn't matter whether or not I believe the young lady or I believe the women. I think it is always bad when multiple women come out against you because it gives the impression that it's more likely than not true. Because why would so many people come out against you? If it's your word against one person, then it becomes, we really don't know what happened. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. You start to give someone the benefit of the doubt. But when 8 people come out, it does seem like, oh man, dude, like you got 8 people. Like
You broke. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
We gotta
well,
see.
he's broke, but Floyd's not.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at it like, you know, and you said one thing, G. The one thing I would disagree with is, yeah, you could do it after the fight, but after the fight's already happened. if you want to get to the deep pockets, they always tell you deep pockets, right? The person being sued is the one with the deep pockets. You understand? So, like, you want to sue the person responsible who has the most money. So Floyd Mayweather's the guy in PBC. They're the people with the money. So they need Rolly to fight right now. So if you want to get an NDA, if you want to get paid not to press charges, this would be the time, right? So let's just say hypothetically, because she already went to the police, right?
Already went.
Yeah. So the other thing that's different, I don't know about there though. I know here, once you go to the police in Massachusetts, even if you wanted to drop it when it's a situation like this, the Commonwealth can pick it up and still go with it. So I don't know about where they're from, but they may just pay up. But how can the Commonwealth prove the case if she doesn't testify? Right? So there you go. I mean, it wouldn't even matter, whatever they call it, wherever the state. How can they prove the case she doesn't testify? So if she negotiated an NDA for herself and she doesn't testify and she doesn't do, they can go on. This is done. But you said there's a bunch of other women. So,
yeah. But then, all right. So my next question to you is, then how can boxers or other athletes protect themselves from these type of allegations if, in fact, they are not, sexual offenders?
Well, one, you can pick and choose the women you entertain wisely. Men or women. Pick the partner that you choose wisely. You can do that. The other thing you can do is you can actually get consent. Like, there are ways of being slick about it, like, oh, I can't wait to see you to do blah, blah, blah. The person responds in the affirmative. Oh, blah, 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 whatever. You got a trail that shows like, yo, she knew, or they knew what I was coming here for. Look at the text messages. Look at this. Look at that. There was no surprise about it. You understand? So this just things like that. But in the end, it's really it's very tough to do. And you just got to protect yourself. And like the way you protect yourself, truthfully, is you got to know the person to a degree, and you can't treat people like they're beneath you. If you do that, then they're gonna. To be honest with you, G, I know where you're getting at, and I try to think of like myself if I was a professional athlete and women were like flocking towards me or whatever, and it was going to go that route. How would I protect myself? I honestly think the number one thing I would do is if I felt like a bad vibe, any type of hesitancy, I wouldn't do it. We're not doing anything. You can just hang out. I'm gonna go find someone else. And they'll be like, but I'm right here. I'll be like, yeah, but I don't feel comfortable with you. So I'm gonna go find someone else. I would never engage with someone who's been drinking or under the influence of alcohol. So like if they had one drink, we Gucci. I'm not messing with you. And you don't even have to be an athlete for that. In my personal life, this, G. When we were out, if a girl was drinking, I wouldn't even entertain her. Like, I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning, and we can talk when you're sober. I'm not entertaining you when you're drinking because I already know what this is going to be. I wasn't in my right state of mind or whatever, so I would never engage. You just make steps, take steps. If you're out with a woman that you meet that night, make sure people see. Try to keep like text. Try to get consent. Try to, I guess that's another thing, fellas. If you're a professional athlete, you literally got to do. We were just talking about this. You literally got to do like, may I kiss you?
We just talked yesterday.
May I put my arm around?
It's just crazy. I just don't want to. It's just. No, I'm like I said in the beginning. It sucks. I know there's people that really want to see this fight, and I know that it's really up to the companies. But like I said, I really want to reiterate that I want to let it play out. I wanted to, as so far, there hasn't been no proof to anything. All it is has been is allegations, and people go off right off the rip saying, "Oh, look how he acts. He's different. He's weird. He's strange." Reminds me of this young man, who was special needs, and he was accused of raping these girls. And he wasn't intelligent enough, and he was a little different, and he was weird, and he was strange, and people said that he did this crime, and come to find out he didn't commit this crime. But it was just that he was different, and he acted different, and he was strange, So I don't want people to just jump to.
Also, just one thing, bro. It's not a crime to be weird.
Exactly, and thank you. It's not a crime to be different, and it's not a crime just because you're weird or something, and people don't like the way you talk or something. That doesn't make you automatically guilty. It's the proof. And that's what I said. I just don't want to be one of those and lose integrity and just jump to, you know what I'm saying? I believe in the law, and I believe that every man is innocent until proven guilty,
Yeah, I agree with you, Trill. But the only thing is like, how hard it is to prove sexual assault? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his word against hers, right? So, and there was no, grape. I'm not gonna say that word because it will get flagged. But like he tried to, get fellatio. She fought him off. Then he ripped her leggings. Then she was upset. He stopped. And then, he goes, "Hey, you're not gonna get guys to shoot up my crib, right?" And that was the situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you actually, convict them? But we have a lawyer here, so go ahead.
I'm just holding up 3. Because I was always taught by my dad, God bless him, rest in peace.
3 sides to every story.
3 sides to every story. What
his side, her side, and the truth
will really happen, right? So that's her side. I'm sure Rolly's side is going to be different, and somewhere in between that is going to be what actually happened, right? What I cannot do is act like I know for certain what happened. I'll never know what happened.
Exactly.
I
don't know what happened, and I'm not judging this man just because of his press conferences and things that he did on social media.
Yeah,
I'm saying, do I hear the evidence?
I'm not saying at all. What I'm saying is we may never know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really hard to even convict somebody of sexual assault because there's only 2 people involved.
You already convicted him.
Who?
You.
No, I didn't.
You said that you didn't. You said you said your opinion. You thought he did it because of how he acted.
Yeah.
I think
he's a strange dude.
And yo, hold up. Now, G, I'm not even coming at you on that because I think this is a teachable moment. This is some real stuff. Yo, I have nothing but love and respect for you. You know that. I think you're one of the most fair people I know. But even you said that about Rolly. Now imagine, how is he supposed to get a jury of his peers when he's a boxer? And everyone who's watching him thinks he's weird, thinks that he's quirky, see these little hitches in the way he speaks, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, he probably would have done it too." It's like you said. Now this guy is being accused of something. Now let's just say hypothetically, you're someone who's looking for a come up, and you got this dude, and y'all had a little disagreement or a little something or whatever, and light bulb goes off. Now I'm not saying that's what happened. But I want to highlight that's how difficult it is sometimes for a professional athlete to get a jury of their peers because public opinion and the media has already convicted them.
Which is true. But what I'm saying is, like, I was like, yo, you're innocent until proven guilty. I started off by saying that. I just said, personally, I think he is guilty because I'm like, yo, I don't see these women as gold diggers because it's like they could have got way more money after the fact. You know what I'm saying? If they just waited a little bit, they could have sued him. They could have sued a lot of people and got money.
After the fact,
that's not the only way that people try to get to people is because of money. Some people just like to mess up people's name. Everything is not just because of money.
True too, but 8 women,
like, but also, G.
No, these are not 8 different. These ain't 8 charges. This is one woman. No. This is other girls who came out and said, "Oh, I agree," and we don't even know if it's her homegirls that's doing it. We don't know if this is 8 different women. We don't know if this is just girls, their homegirls doing this. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know. And I don't want to be the judge in the jury.
true.
But here's the other thing, G.
Sexual assault or alleged sexual assault happened, and then the following day she went to the police. Like, to me, if I was a gold digger, I would try to, like, hey, let me negotiate a bag, and then if I can't get the bag, then go to the police. You see what I'm saying? Like,
here's what I would say to you, G. Right? I think, and she'd actually get more money doing it the way she's doing it right now, because if Rolly fights Tank, Rolly gets more money. What's his purse? Let's just say, let's give him $1 million, although he's probably not making that.
1.3 million.
Let's give him 1.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much money Floyd Mayweather has? Do you know how much money PBC has?
Mm-hmm.
So you could go after Rolly, who's going to have 1.3 million, or you can do it before the fight, right? Which you're putting them on notice that Rolly sexually assaulted you. So then if they allow Rolly to fight, you can file charges against them too for whatever. You can say you have some lawsuit against them. You could be building a case. Remember what I said. It's always about deep pockets. So there's two things by doing it now. One, you may be able to negotiate more money with Floyd Mayweather Promotions and PBC because they'll be paying you to just step aside and drop your charges, right? And they got more money than Rolly. So they have deeper pockets. And so that's the thing. Think about it like this. If you went to the corner store and you purchased like a drink, a Gatorade, and you sipped the Gatorade, right? And you got sick from the Gatorade or whatever, would you want to sue the corner store or would you want to sue Gatorade itself?
Nah, you're going to sue Gatorade. But you also going to sue the corner store.
But the corner store is also going to join you in suing Gatorade, which is going to strengthen your case. The corner store is going to say, I purchased the Gatorade and if Gatorade was fresh, whatever. They sold me a bad batch. So now you and the corner store are going to sue Gatorade, which is going to strengthen. Y'all are going to be witnesses for each other. The corner store is going to be your best witness.
You kind of lost me. So in this comparison, who would be the corner store?
The corner store would be Rolly. But Rolly, the point I'm making is the deep pockets analogy. You want to go after the person with the most money. So Rolly has money, like the corner store has money. But if you sue the corner store, you're going to be capped at a certain amount. Whereas if you sue Gatorade, then you're going to make a lot more money.
But in this case, it's not suing Gatorade because in the Rolly situation, Mayweather, PBC, Showtime didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't.
Exactly. So right now, it's just against Rolly himself.
If you can get them to pay you off.
But I'm assuming they said hell to the no, and hence that's why they dropped him from the fight.
Another thing is too, like you said that she went to the police the next day. Because I'm reading reports that she hasn't gave a statement to local police yet. You know, and it's saying that he hasn't been charged with any crimes, but at least only one alleged victim has claimed that she'll be giving a statement to local police very soon.
All right, hold on, Trill. I'll pull up the article. Hold on. Because she already went to the police, and then they asked they already confirmed with the police department that they have received the police report and that they're investigating right now. Hold on. Well, it doesn't even matter. At this point, anybody could just look it up. It's like literally a Google search away.
Even if she went to the police or not, right? That's cool. The point that I'm trying to make to you, and it's fine, because it's not, when you're dealing with like corporations and actual people, it's more difficult to have like a solid analogy, other than the fact, because you're talking about sexual assault. But you can get more money from the corporation. You can get more money from the company than you can get from Rolly. So you know. You said this happened recently. When did this happen again? The actual incident.
Wait, man, I just look it up. But it was this week.
This week, okay. So this week you bring it up. I'm not even trying to go after the person. All I'm trying to say is because I don't want to say things that's going to make it seem like I'm trying to go after a person because I
get it. Trust me.
I
Like
have no position.
yeah,
All I'm saying is you can still be compensated well by doing it the way she's doing it right now. Too. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and then also too, you can still be a victim and still be compensated. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just, you know, yeah. So
it didn't happen. You know, that's why a lot of these people settle out of court.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and so sometimes it's just easier just to give the bag. Like, yo, here, take this money, please. Just let us have this fight. But
what matters to you? What matters most to you?
Exactly.
Is seeing Rolly in jail gonna make you happier, or is you having a couple of 100,000 gonna make you happier? It's up to you. What's gonna make you whole? Basically, what's gonna make you whole?
Yeah, pretty much my argument is
I think Rolly needs to be behind bars. If this is true, if these accusations are true, Rolly needs to be behind bars because there's no reason why anybody should have to feel unsafe. You know, I totally agree with that. But then in the same way, I also feel like everybody earned the right to be treated fairly, and you have the right to be innocent until proven guilty. I also believe in that as well.
True, but celebrities don't have they don't have that luxury true.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Not even that. I just wanted to say just normal people as well. Even just in public opinion, just in day-to-day life, just regular stuff. Somebody's gonna take somebody else's just because the way I might be dressed at the time. You know? Like it didn't happen. I've been jogging in my neighborhood. And they be saying like, oh, you know, just because the way my complexion of they say, oh, he did it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody just broke into my garage down there. And I'm like, I'm looking here, I'm in jogging, some in sweats, and I'm jogging. But they're going to say, okay, well, look, you know, it happens. And I just don't, that was one thing I wanted just the way you look. Just because if you look away or you perceive to be away doesn't make you guilty. That was just one thing that I wanted to put across to the people, to the millions of people, to the people that watch us, just to let you know, let's be less judgmental and go by the facts.
I agree. I think this is an interesting discussion. And
I just add one last point.
Go ahead.
And so, like, a lot of colleges and universities do this, right? You don't necessarily need to be convicted of sexual assault or anything. They could still be like, your behavior, doesn't reflect a student of this institution. So they could still expel you. You get what I'm saying? Because they're like, well, why'd you put yourself in a situation where you bringing home a girl that's like clearly drunk and this and the third, or, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, you may not have penetrated or did anything, but you put yourself in a situation that people are looking at you like, oh, why'd you do that to yourself? You see what I'm saying? So like, that's where that's why I say like, public opinion and criminal court is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the corporations are always dealing with public opinion because the public is what consumes their products and services, right? So if people feel like, yo, I can't support this because my wife is pissed off or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or like I got a daughter or a mom or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like people like, yo, I can't support a guy that does this. They don't know if he's guilty or not, but it's just, people don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. Like something like that could be triggering to people, right? And so they're like, yo, I can't support this. And then Showtime's probably like, damn, especially what's just happening to Chappelle. They're probably like, yo, we don't need to smoke right now, man. Yo, Rolly, blessings. Good luck with your case, but we gotta bounce. It's not wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's just being safe. Like if I was Showtime, if I was PBC, if I was Al Heyman himself, I'd be like, yo, Rolly, man, I wish you.
I understand. I completely understand. Mm-hmm. Let us know how y'all feel in the comment section, please. My big brother. I thought you was trying to close this up.
No. I was, but something hit me.
Okay.
All right. So, GG, you asked a question. So, what I would say to like young men and even women and people watching, not just a professional athlete, but any successful person. My whole life, you know how I moved? I only messed with people who had things to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like I only messed with people who were ambitious, people who were goal oriented, people who like this coming out with it or something like that would have serious implications on them if they lied. Like you'll never catch me with like a woman who could come out and lie on me about something like sexual assault and it wouldn't impact her in a negative way as well. Like it wouldn't be a come up to accuse me. So that way it lessens your chances of having to deal with the situation. So like you just meet someone easy and everything's easy, you might be facing a problem. But if you meet someone who's ambitious, goal oriented, or whatever, yeah, it may take more effort, but at least you know at the end of the day, like the odds are you're not going to have to go through certain things. I've
Definitely.
never heard of this woman until this situation with Rolly and all these other women. I don't know, but it does seem like Rolly was enjoying picking up women based on his status and maybe not treating them with respect, and that could have prompted this. But if you were meeting women on a certain level who had something to lose and whatever, when I say something to lose, by the way, because I don't want to leave anything lost in translation, but an ambitious, successful woman who isn't going to put herself in a position to accuse anyone of sexual assault unless it actually happened because she knows that lying is going to potentially harm her in her profession. And I say that because let's not act like history isn't filled with false accusations of sexual assault. You
Exactly.
look at like the Duke lacrosse team. There's the situation with the guy Brian Banks, who actually went to jail, was a promising young prospect, and he went to jail because a woman said that he raped her, and then years later was caught on camera saying that she lied, and she was paid millions of dollars from her school and from the state. So like you have to be your vetting process has to be better. Who you select, it has to be better. And by golly, if a woman doesn't want you, who cares? Kanye West, bougie girl, grab her hand. F that chick, she don't want to dance. Excuse my French, but I'm being French. And who's the other? Oh, Lil Wayne. If she don't want to F, I get on my skateboard and I skate past her. Like it just is what it is. But yo, nothing's worth it. Nothing's worth it. You get the slightest hint of resistance, let it go. Like the Frozen song, just let it go. You know what I mean? The slightest hint of resistance, the slightest, like yo, don't be pressing, don't be
It's not that
chasing. It
serious.
ain't that serious. It
It's
ain't
like
nothing's worth it.
buses. If you miss one, there's one to take his
For real.
place 15 minutes promptly.
Yeah, like the way I am, if I say hi and you don't say hi back one time, forget it. Like you know what I mean? So that's my advice. So.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros. Trill Talk, Volume 3, out now.
You're welcome.